Okay, this is our second time reading Quicksand, When Earth Turns to Liquid. Remember, this is a science article. We talked about diagrams and labels. So this time we're going to go through and answer some questions. We set a purpose. We tried to find out if quicksand is really as dangerous as it seems when we read it the first time through. So this time, make sure you have your pencil ready, make sure you have your worksheet ready, because we'll stop and answer some of the questions as we're going, okay? So here we go. What is quicksand? The word quicksand makes some people shiver with fear. This is probably because of the way many movies show quicksand. In films, quicksand is often a mysterious substance that sucks people and animals to their deaths. Actual quicksand is very different from movie quicksand. It rarely harms people or animals. Real quicksand is not mysterious. It is a simple substance that forms naturally. Quicksand is often just sand with a lot of water between its particles. This makes the sand soupy or runny. When the waterlogged sand can no longer support weight, it is called quick. So now I need you to get your worksheet, get your pencil. You'll see on your worksheet the first question is cause and effect, and it's on page 317, which is the page we're on. You might not be able to see that in your book. We already answered question number 1 in the book. So on your paper, question number 1 says cause and effect. What happens when a lot of water mixes with sand? Pause the video, answer the question, and then we'll go to the next page. Sand and other materials. A beach is a good place to see how water affects sand. In the area where waves roll onto the land, the sand changes. Here, water sinks into the sand. The water makes the sand loose and soft. For a few seconds, the surface acts like shallow quicksand. Now, I'm going to stop and have you answer question number 2 on your paper, which says, how do waves affect the sand on a beach? How do waves affect the sand on a beach? So pause the video and answer question number 2 on your worksheet. Okay, the next page. Sand is not the only substance that can become quick. Dirt, pebbles, and gravel can also quicken under the right conditions. This means that sometimes water mixes with one of these materials in just the right way. Then quicksand forms. So now you're going to pause the video again and answer question number 3 on your worksheet. What other materials can combine with water to quicken? Do not just write down the names of those materials. You still need to make sure you answer with a complete sentence. So you'll say something like, you could list out the other materials and then say this, and this can combine with water to quicken. Answer question number 3. How does quicksand form? Most of the time, particles of sand, dirt, and pebbles are packed close together to form a solid, stable ground. Firm ground can support the weight of a person, a car, or even a building. So we're going to answer another question. Question number 4 on your paper says, why does solid ground support heavy weights? So think about cause and effect. Why does solid ground support heavy weights? Pause the video and answer question number 4. Conditions change when underground water forces its way between particles. The water pushes the particles farther apart. The solid ground starts to act like a liquid. It is now quicksand. As long as the water flows, the particles will stay in their liquid state. Where is quicksand found? Water is the key ingredient in quicksand. This means that quicksand is usually found in wetlands or watery places. Marshes, rivers, creeks, and swamps often hide pools of quicksand. Deserts have a lot of sand, but they almost never contain quicksand. Deserts are dry places. Quicksand usually will not form without water. It does not matter how much sand there is in a place. Think about movie Quicksand again. Is quicksand really a mysterious substance? Does it really suck people and animals to their deaths? Now that you know the truth, you might not be so scared the next time you see quicksand in a movie. So on your paper, question number 5 says, cause and effect. Why do deserts rarely have quicksand? Make sure you use a complete sentence, pause the video, answer question number 5. Okay, question number 6. Where could quicksand form in your neighborhood? Why? Use details from the text to explain your answer. Now, I will give you a little hint. There can be quicksand in St. George. Is it going to be out here in our deserts, though? No, it's not going to be out hiking in a desert. But do we have water in St. George? Do we have places with sandy little beaches or rivers that run or lakes that we can go to? Are there places where we could have quicksand? Think about that and answer question number 6 on your paper. And that's the end of this reading article, but remember we read this as well. So we're going to go through this and answer some questions, okay? So this was the quicksand myths and also the facts about them. So myths, remember, are false things that people believe. So here's the fiction. Here's the false thing people believe. Quicksand sucks you down. Quicksand's thicker than water. It's easier for things to float in quicksand than in water. It is almost impossible to sink under completely. Here's another myth. Quicksand is alive. Here's the fact. Quicksand is not alive. When a person steps into quicksand, it moves with the person's motion. Quicksand only looks like it is alive. Okay, another myth about quicksand. Leeches and worms live in quicksand. Well, here's the fact. There is rarely anything alive in quicksand, so don't worry about leeches or worms. Okay, here's the myth or the fiction part. Quicksand is bottomless. Here's the fact. There are many places with deep quicksand. However, quicksand is not bottomless. Most quicksand is a few inches deep to less than waist deep. So you are going to answer 2 questions, number 7 and number 8 on your paper. The first question is you're going to draw a conclusion. Should you be afraid to walk in quicksand? Then you need to explain. Don't just write yes or no. If you write yes, then tell me why. If you write no, which you should say no, then explain. You could be afraid to walk through quicksand. If that's the case, tell me why. Then on question number 8, you're going to choose one of the myths about quicksand from the article. So choose one of these 4 myths, and then I want you to tell me what's fiction about it, what makes it fake, and what makes it fact. So pause the video, answer those questions, and you are done.